So in the next week or so, I'm going to be installing this 8.5-pound UUC single mass lightweight flywheel. It's made by Fidanza. They make it for UUC's proprietary specs. I just wanted to make a public service announcement about installing a new flywheel and new pressure plate. It is a myth that you do not need to get these balanced because 2020 manufacturing processes are so good. Absolutely get your flywheel, your pressure plate, your clutch if you want to, doesn't really matter, but if you're giving the balancer both of these, might as well just give them your clutch. And then get both of these balanced together. Especially if you're running an S engine and you're revving up 8,000 RPM, you definitely need to make sure that these things are balanced, more importantly as a unit, but also it's nice to get them balanced individually. To reiterate, this is not a UUC problem. This is not a SOX problem. This is just a general issue that you will see with JB flywheels, FX flywheels, Clutch Masters, or is that FX? F1 Racing, UUC, I think I said JB and Bemmer World. But all flywheels need to be balanced before you install them. Yes, I know that this OEM SOX pressure plate had a sticker on it that said precision balanced. Well then, how come I had to take out so much material to actually get it balanced? When I was looking for someone to balance my flywheel and pressure plate together, it actually took me a couple days to call around and find someone, because most shops, I asked them, can you do it? And if not, can you recommend someone who does it? They replied, that's something you don't need to do anymore. They are absolutely incorrect. There might be some cars, maybe you don't need to be as precise with your balancing just because it doesn't rev as high. That's speculation, as just an example. However, in my opinion, you just spent over $500, probably closer to $800 to $1,200 for your stage 2 performance organic clutch, your pressure plate, and then your lightweight flywheel. Absolutely spend the $75 to $100 to make sure that this is perfectly balanced when it goes in your machine. The material taken out is obviously taken out on the heavy side. There are 3 locating pins on the flywheel for the pressure plate, which means it has rotational symmetry around 120 degrees. So there's 3 ways I can place it. If I didn't get this balance and I had no idea which side was heavier or not, there's a 1 in 3 chance I lined it up so that this heavy side is opposite to the flywheel heavy side. Maybe in this situation, because it's a similar amount of material removed, maybe it would have balanced itself out. But that also means there's a 2/3 chance that I would have placed this in an orientation where the heavy side would either be here or here, but basically on the same side as the heavy side of the flywheel. And that would dramatically increase the imbalance to the point where I would absolutely feel it in the car and it would probably do damage. So please, please, please spend the $75 to $100 for that extra insurance and get your pressure plate and your flywheel balanced individually and then as a unit, and you should not have any issues. If you do a lot of research online, you will find 90% of the negative reviews for lightweight flywheels, and once again, this is not specific to UUC, 90% of the negative reviews is from unnecessary vibrations in the higher rev limit to the point where the car feels like it's blowing itself up. They end up removing it and then they find that it was not balanced. So yep, hope that helps. Absolutely, once again, absolutely get these balanced and be happy. Last note, this is specific to UUC. I see that a lot of people don't understand how to install the clutch or which side goes. And I've heard reports of people installing the clutch backwards, which is kind of strange. Mine is clearly labeled flywheel side, but there's 2 ways to know which side goes where. Either you look at the splines and they're protruding towards the flywheel, or you look at the sprung hub side and the sprung hub side is protruding towards the throwout bearing. So it'll go down like this, sprung side up. But yes, absolutely get this balanced. They will mark for you so you can line up. And when you put it back together, it'll be fully balanced as a unit. Don't ruin your engine.